Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. Well, here we go again. Okay, this is going to be a long video, just to warn you. It's going to be, I was just trying to save 30% on the groceries, and I realized I could save a lot more than that. In fact, I was telling one of the girls at the gym, wouldn't it be so great to have an extra $1,000 at the beginning of next month? And then I want to give you guys my, I'm working on the cookbook, and I want to give you guys the recipe because it's going to be an ebook, or I want to do a hard copy because I heard in heaven there is a copy of every book published. My brother's done a couple art books, a few of them. And then I will talk about some other stuff. We'll worry about that. Okay, so I want to show you, I want to make some almond milk. It's so easy to make. Okay, here are the almonds. It was 1/2 cup almonds and 2 cups water. I brought them to a boil. I think one of the most important things, you know, I mentioned to you guys, I mean, if you have stockpiled nuts, then you're going to have milk. That's the most awesome part of this whole thing. So it was 2 cups of water, but you can see it's almost cooked down. So I'm going to add, let's see, what is this, a 1/2 cup? I'm going to add 2 more cups, and then I'm going to add 2 more cups after that, probably, to come up with 4 cups. And the reason is because I want to make some almond milk yogurt. I was so miserable when I didn't have yogurt the other night. So that's all there is to this. And I'm going to give you the yogurt recipe, which if you've been following me, you already have it. But try to get, I was going to, where's that thing? I was going to post them on X, but I thought no, because some of my followers say they can't find X. All right, so I'm going to put this on high. All right. Okay, I want to mention this roast. Well, it was some kind of thick cut steak, but I got it marked down to $3.58. So I had a big lunch, so I'm not hungry. But since I bought this marked down, I wanted to cook it. So this, one of my customers, most of my best recipes were from my customers. And she was telling me, you know, back in the day, you had to eat every little bit of food, and so they got down to their last roast and they knew it was going to be really, really tough. So she wrapped it in all kinds of layers of foil to trap the steam, and she baked it overnight. So this has been going maybe about an hour or 2, and then it gives you the most tender meat. So I'll probably show it to you tomorrow. I've been making them so you can look, but I would have to unwrap this tightly wrapped foil to show you, but I'll show you tomorrow. So it's at 300. If it was a large piece of meat, you could go overnight. So I wanted to show you that. Okay. So I think I have about 2 cups in here. Let me see. Yeah, it's still a little thick and gluey, so I'll add 2 more cups. And then this will be perfect for my yogurt making. I can't make the yogurt now because I'm cooking the roast, but I'll be up for a while, and then I will make the yogurt for tomorrow, so I'll have plenty of yogurt. All right. And let me go one more time. When you start making some of this stuff, you realize how much you're really charging you. Like when you buy the coconut milk, this is a half a cup of, the skin is off of them, but you can easily remove the skin. Just put your almonds in a pan and boil them for a few minutes, and then you should be able to take them off and pop the skin off. That's time consuming. I do that. All right. Okay, so now I do have a fine screen, but as usual, I can't find anything. Part of the reason is because I have way too much stuff. So I want to pour this. I want to trap any pieces of nuts, which, you know, when you cook them soft, there might be a tiny bit, but not much. All right, I'll let this just drip for a while in here. Okay, and then I'll put the milk in here. This seems like a mess. So, you know, when you make it yourself, you get a lot more. So I have a little bit of almond milk. I think one of the most dismal things I could ever think about is kids with no milk. Ooh, that'd be very dismal. But we're not going to have that problem. Here's the almonds. What I did is I lurk around, and when I get a good price, I buy them. I think I bought these at grocery outlet. These have an expiration of 5/30/25, and I bought them quite a while ago. So I will have plenty of milk for my yogurt tonight, and I will show you tomorrow. All right, let's see if this thing, not much came out. All right, life is good. All right, so if you have oatmeal, if you have shredded wheat, if you have cornflakes, if you have raisin bran, milk is kind of good to have too. All right. So I was just trying to counteract the inflation by saving 30%. And like, I'm cheap anyway, you guys probably noticed. But for me, it's just the way I've always done things. And I thought, why don't you try to be as cheap as you possibly can? And I was really shocked. So you could be very surprised how much money you would save. Okay, so one is cut utilities. So I mentioned to you that I cut my utilities by $250. But I could cut it a lot more. Like I could turn my air conditioner. It's hot. I think it's the roast. But the only lights I have on is in my little kitchen. I could turn all the utilities off at the breaker switch except for the refrigerator. And so cutting utilities, I have a few more ideas on utilities. I want to mention a good video. I was going to mention it the other night, and it's about saving money. Lava Lindy's Awesome Van Adventures. Okay, she lives in a van. I told you she's growing an awesome garden. Her garden's growing better in the van. Oh, I think I located the problem. I have squirrels. Okay, Lava Lindy's Awesome Van Adventures baths. So, go to Lava Lindy Austin, and she has her money saving tips on toilet paper, on baths, and it's really good because, you know, do you want to save money or do you not? And what I learned on that video is they have wipes that are like as big as paper towels at Walmart. I thought I'm going to buy some of those in case the grid goes down. That's another reason I want to give you my recipes. Okay, utilities. Also, I want to buy light bulbs now. Okay, and I'm eating the food storage down. That saves money. I'm cutting the petty cash from $50 to $38 and saving $4 a month. So I think this cutting the petty cash is what really started it. I went to the food pantry. Here is some of the food I still have left. I just showed you that the other day. So I'm working on food, and what I'm doing is I'm mostly buying canned meat, and I have something to say on that subject. Okay, so I bought these at Dollar Tree, but I was thinking this would be delicious in pasta salad. Oysters and sardines. So my idea was to I'm stockpiling meat and milk, like the almond milk. Herring fillets, kipper snacks are good, but I couldn't find any. And I was going to eat this tonight. This is some soup because I have an acorn squash, and I thought I'm going to bake it and I'm going to put this soup in it. I think that's going to be very good. So these were all $1.25. And then today at Ralph's, I got this soup, matzo ball soup, for 16 cents. I think there's a couple packets. How many packets? There is, well, it says 7 servings. So for 16 cents, that'll be a good meal for me. So, mainly I want meat, fish, milk, and nuts. And then water. Okay, I came up with a super cheap water thing. Okay, you know, I go to the gym every day, and I ask them, I wouldn't do this without asking, this is so cheap. I asked them, can I fill my water? And they said, oh, sure. She goes, you really should drink 1.5. And I'm thinking, now let's not get ridiculous. So I thought, why couldn't you do that at McDonald's? Why couldn't you do that at any place where they have filtered water? Jack in the Box loves me. They give me ice. Okay, so that's cheap. Just like being so cheap. It's like having no shame. Being cheap to the point you have no shame. I mean, within reason, right? Not like wear your underwear for a week. You could wash them out by hand. You could wear your clothes for 2-3 days. This was one of the suggestions on Lava Lindy's Van Adventures, is a bath every 3 days. Now, I can't do that because I go to the gym and I actually take 2 baths a day, but I'm not willing to, I'm pretty cheap though. And then shelter. I'm doing I can't reduce the price of my shelter, but what I want to do is when I get up, I leave my house from the time I get up until after 9 o'clock. That's the peak utility hours. And I'm out of my house, so there's no wear and tear on my house, no utilities. I'm outside. Okay, so, okay, today I think I located the cheapest place to buy gas. I think it's Arco. Okay, now I want to talk about refills on Diet Coke. If I refill this, I can get this for $1.49, and refills on water are 50 cents or cheaper if I go to Walmart. I want to mention something I bought at Albertsons, and I learned this on Feature Man. Okay, I was doing so good. I bought root beer for 99 cents. Now that is cheap. So when I was quitting Diet Coke before, at times when I would be guzzling Diet Coke, I thought, I don't want to drink root beer. I thought, yeah, because you're not addicted to root beer. So just cutting like soda, like water, like food, like, you know. Okay, now I am considering a laundromat. I have a lot of clothes because I have gym clothes now and clothes. And like, truthfully, the idea doesn't appeal to me, but I thought, how would you like to slash your utility bill again? That would be awesome. I don't have to dry the stuff, just wash the stuff. So I'm considering that. I wash my own car with a bucket in my garage. That's not fun. Okay, no. I was working on this for a while. I got medical with no copay. I got dental for seniors. I got vision, and you can get hearing aids if you need them. I got the prescription plan from the medical, but there's also, what are those things called? Generics. Also, I located utilities. You get, if you have a low income, you get cheaper utilities. And I want to mention the gym. Choose Gym is, you can get the starter membership for $9.98, but I realized that by going up to $30, then I could take the classes that work on my coordination, because I took a couple classes and I thought I was pretty coordinated, quite the contrary. And I also said to myself, this is entirely age related. So I thought it's worth $20 a month. I mean, I could go to classes every day of the week. And I've been upping my weight, and I did the elliptical, which I was about as uncoordinated as possible, but I did figure it out. Okay, so now, okay, now this is, I'm going out of order, but I'm trying to live outside as much as possible, and I'm trying to create a house that is like a habitat, inside and out. So the outside is coming along pretty good, and I'm going through every little item, and let me tell you, I own a lot of stuff, and I'm packing it up to sell it. Okay, I want to hang on to my stuff so I can sell it, like kitchen. Believe it or not, one of your most valuable rooms is your kitchen. Tools, furniture. You know, you never think about furniture unless you don't have something. Sometimes I dumpster dive furniture, like little, one thing, you know, you never think about is end tables, like coffee end tables. I have a chair that I dumpster dive. I have a chair in my backyard, and then you can just sell them. I usually sell that kind of stuff. Clothes, and another thing is lamps. Okay, now I want to talk about buying stuff used, like a used car. So my son got a really nice used car for about $14,000 or $15,000, plus $1,000 for tires. Clothes, I bought this. This is a decent sweater. I buy 2 or 3 new sweaters. This year I might have to buy more, because I noticed my sweaters were really showing wear. So I was elated because, okay, last year, these are really nice sunglasses. I bought these at the thrift store. I didn't have to have them adjusted or anything. You're better sunglasses. Then I bought these, and these are like fake designer sunglasses, good enough for all I do is drive to the gym and back. But this year, I said never again. I am not listening to these people. It was black and white all summer, black and red all winter, red, black. I go, no, it's going to brown, beige. So I saw these sunglasses this year at 7-Eleven for $10, so I bought them. And then I bought these at the thrift store for $3.99, and Walmart adjusted them for me. So I go, awesome. So I usually buy 2 pair of sunglasses, and I usually buy 2 or 3 sweaters. So I got a little jump on that. Okay, then find the cheapest price on everything you buy, like the cheapest gas. So I was working in this kind of nice area, and I had this kid who just graduated from college, and his job was to find everything at the cheapest possible price, the best item, the cheapest possible. I don't care if it was toilet paper, anything they wanted, the highest interest paid in, the lowest interest. That was his 8-hour a day, 5 days a week job. So we could do that for ourselves. Okay, I don't buy used shoes, but I do buy, I was going through my coats. I have quite a few nice coats. Okay, now I want to eliminate luxuries that don't contribute to my standard of living. So I'm thinking to myself, is this giving me a better standard of living, or is this costing money? And it's like a hole in the bucket. If you have a hole in your bucket, the money just drains out. Okay, now so like I want to concentrate on water, food, and shelter. The petty cash this year, this week, I could have spent no petty cash. I still have $13 left. Okay, so now I'm trying to find marked down food, and so today I found some. I want to show you what I found. Yesterday I found this, and 1 or 2 good deals a week can really help. Okay, Albertsons, I found this 2-pound bag of avocados for $3.99, and I said, is this correct? And she said, yeah. But this girl told me how. I said, yeah, I want to eat avocados on my bagels that I got at the food pantry. She goes, how about avocado, bagel, avocado, cream cheese, and tomato? I go, yeah, as soon as these ripen, I'm going to make that. Then, you know, I got all this free produce. So I found these zucchinis and some kind of pepper. These were $1 at Albertsons. This is cheaper than, I bought 3 apples for $1, so this was $3. And I bought some potatoes for $1. I usually don't count food as petty cash. Food or gas. Petty cash is like Diet Coke. I've given up candy bars. I've given up free pies. Okay, so 1 or 2 good deals can make the difference in your week. That roast is going to be good tomorrow. I could make, I have packets of beef gravy, so what I'll do is I'll just reheat my roast in the gravy, and I'll make some mashed potatoes and some vegetables. Okay, now I want to prepare my house so that I can be comfortable in my house all summer long. That's why I've been working on my house. And I want to grow a garden so I can have fresh food, because I heard this thing, you know, I'm doing the life extension. I heard this thing, it's best to eat your vegetables 45 minutes after it's harvested. I don't know what kind of vegetables these are at the food pantry, But I can tell you it's much better than, not the Albertsons or the Ralphs, but I was buying some pretty cheap food. So now I want to grow food, can food, dehydrate food, and freeze dry food. So I don't have a freeze dryer, but I'm going to try to find one. I want to mention the fact that my curling iron, my flat iron, and my blow dryer conked out. So this last time I moved, I must have put all of this stuff, my wax machine, all this, I got over here with nothing. So that was a few years ago. So I just bought it at the thrift store. I just wiped it off with some alcohol so it conked out on me. Okay, so I'm making homemade yogurt, bread, butter, peanut butter, nut milk, and cheese and treats. I'm cutting everything I buy, and I'm saving. Now this made me insane, but I'm saving little containers and bottles, and I want to show you something to give you a demonstration. Oh, I can't give you a demonstration on that, the one I wanted to. It's too far away. Okay, these plants are in some meat trays. And they're growing pretty good. They're going on the balcony. When this stuff takes off good, I don't know, my plants in the back are really dry, but those are okay. So I'm saving bottles and jars. This made me insane. Here's some of the jars. And this is a yogurt container. And more yogurt will appear when I make some. So I'm saving like the containers, like I will save this. I'm making myself. Some of that stuff's recyclable. If it's to be recycled, there's a couple people I know. Okay, so now I'm cutting everything and saving everything, and I'm pre-planning my meals and the holidays like the 4th of July. Okay. Now for the recipes. Okay, I'm working on the cookbook, and I thought I just want to give my followers the recipes. Now, I hope everyone is doing okay. What I like to do is when the thought comes up, I want to post it. Oh, I sprinkle pepper and onion and garlic powder on my roast. It smells really good. All right, I want to read this. This is going in my cookbook. I thought this was so beautiful. Our recipes. When first this land was settled and women all did come, they brought with them the best they had of treasures from their homes. I'll tell you a good one. My family pulled stuff from Missouri to Nevada. Like, I think my sister had it. It was a dresser my great-great-grandfather made, but there was a heavy piece of metal. He hauled it from Missouri. Each one brought her recipes across each different sea. That's true in my family, from Switzerland to Canada to Missouri to Nevada, to make this place a home just like the home they used to be. Then, in friendships of the land, they traded here and yon to learn of others' different ways. I can't tell you how many recipes my little old lady customers to put the kettle on. They gave their best to dearest friends, who in turn gave them, you see, for 'twas like a visit from a friend to use their recipes. So I'm going to put that in my cookbook when I do it. Okay, the first one is my sister's meatballs. Okay, if you have good meatballs, you're going to have good spaghetti. Hamburger, 2 pounds, onion powder, garlic powder, 2 tablespoons onion flakes, 2 tablespoons red pepper flakes, dry parsley, saute 1 1 onion, 4 tablespoons minced garlic, 2 eggs, 3/4 cups bread. This is for the meatballs themselves. Meatballs, and then she put the meatballs in chicken broth and baked them. So the meatballs are done. Then she puts that in the spaghetti, and let me tell you, that gives you the best spaghetti. My sisters are really good cooks. I think a lot of it's hereditary. Okay, for the spaghetti, onion, garlic, chicken stock, 1 can tomato sauce, 8 ounces, a can of water, 1 6-ounce tomato paste, 18-ounce canned tomatoes, garlic powder, 1 tablespoon, onion powder, 1 tablespoon, red pepper flakes, and 2 dried basil. And you know, tailor it to what you have around. But if you cook that tomato sauce down and you make your good meatballs. All right, festive. Now this is one of the first recipes I made on YouTube. 1 box of strawberry gelatin, 1 can of fruit cocktail drain, and 2 cups mini marshmallows. You might be saying anybody knows that, but you know what? You can forget. Or you can have strawberry jello with sweetened strawberries in the freezer. And so when the jello starts to solidify, add the strawberries and the bananas. And people go, how did you make that? Okay, raisin jam, 3/4 cups. Now this is well worth knowing because you can make it on your cookies. 3/4 cup raisins, 1/8 cup sugar, cover with water and cook down. Chop with the side of a spatula or spoon. Turn off the heat and add 1/2 teaspoon lemon juice or lime. Now for my wing sauce, 1/4 cup oil, 1/4 cup cider vinegar, 1/4 cup ketchup, a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1/2 tablespoon chili powder, and 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder. These will all be in the cookbook when I get around to it. But I have a lot of recipes. A self-rising flour, 1 cup flour, 1.5 teaspoons baking powder, and 1/4 cup salt for self-rising baking powder. I also have some of my grandmother's recipes. Spice cake, 2/3 cup sugar, 2 eggs, 1/3 cup oil, 1/4 cup water, 1/3 cup sour cream, and 1 cup pumpkin. You add that to a spice cake mix and it may give you a great big delicious cake. Pumpkin pie, cake, apple cider muffin mix, 1/3 cup sugar, 1 egg, 1/6 cup oil, 1/4 cup water, 1/2 small vanilla yogurt, and 3/4 cup applesauce. Tailor it to whatever you have in the house. Okay. All right, speedy pizza. This is one of the first recipes I made. You guys, I want to tell you something. I have 6,856,613 views, and when I get to 7 million views, I'll buy myself a treat. I bought this rose quartz necklace at the thrift store for Valentine's Day for myself. 4 English muffins, 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, or you could make my sister's spaghetti sauce, oregano, and mozzarella cheese. Next week, if they have English muffins at the food pantry, I'm going to get those. It's nice, they give you a lot of vegetables and bread. Sweet potato pie, 1 9-inch pie crust, 2 cups cooked mashed sweet potatoes, or yams, whichever. 1/3 cup packed brown sugar, 1/2 cup evaporated milk, 2 tablespoons lime juice, 2 tablespoons bourbon, I don't add that, 2 tablespoons pumpkin pie spice, or you can just use cinnamon, 1/4 cup freshly grated coconut, I don't add that, 1/4 cup salt, and 2 egg whites. You can see I've had this recipe for a long time. I usually make my own pie crust. Beans and franks, 3 tablespoons chopped. Now this is an oldie. 3 tablespoons chopped onion, 2 tablespoons butter or margarine, 1 can Van de Kamp's pork and beans, 6 wieners, sliced penny style, 1/3 cup brown sugar, 1 teaspoon prepared mustard, I just use mustard, 1 teaspoon celery salt, and I'll give you the recipe. This, I bet you I've had this recipe for 40 years. You can also slice your hot dogs penny style and put them in your spaghetti. Jam thumbprint cookies. Okay, it took me years to find this recipe. 1/2 cup butter at room temperature. What is this? 1/2 cup sugar. 1 large egg yolk. I have a bird feather. 1 teaspoon vanilla, and 1 cup all-purpose flour, and 1/4 teaspoon salt, and some jam. So if you have your raisin jam, this is really good. Sometimes I used to add the raisin, I used to add walnuts to my raisin jam, and then I used to make cookies. You know, I would put 2 sugar cookies and put the jam in the middle. All right, I forgot my donut recipe. I'll give it to you. Okay, now I want to talk to you about the food storage. 1 can beans, 1 can soup, 1 pasta, 1 can meat, 1 can fish, and canned meals. And then I also have on here some cheap meat for you guys. What if the grid goes down? Here's another one of the food storage I did the other day. Okay, cornbread is very important. It took me, this is Julia Child's cornbread. It took me a long time to 1 to 2 eggs, a cup of milk, a teaspoon salt. And then I add 1 cup flour, 1 cup cornmeal, 2 to 4 melted butter, and what is this? 2 to 4 tablespoons sugar, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. So after a while, you notice these old recipes, it's all the same food, so you can whip up anything. All right, I want to give you this food storage. Canned fruit, canned vegetables, baked beans or bean mixes, rice, spaghetti, pasta, flour, rolled oats, breakfast cereal and milk, canned meat and fish, canned soup, canned meals. And then this goes to the food pantry: bread, milk, eggs, and cheese. And then think about bananas, apples, peanut butter and jelly, canned tomatoes, potatoes, and tea. And then pretty soon you start doing this stuff and you're not going to be on your last dime. You're not going to have to major stockpile food: potatoes, flour, rice, beans, oats, pasta, corn, peas, green beans, tomatoes, milk, jam, fruit, jam, and raisins. just hit pause and take a screenshot of the recipes. Okay, old-fashioned food. Bread, corn, cornmeal, beef jerky, beans and rice, peas, dried fruit, sugar, salt, bacon, salt pork, sourdough biscuits, coffee, tea, vinegar, lemon, and potatoes. If we're smart, we're going to adjust now and go back to the old way. All you need, like there is this girl, and I said to her, do you have food and water and shelter? She said, yes, but nothing. That's all you need. Okay, now I'm doing the life extension, so I'm going to save this one for that. Okay, now I want to talk about the Oslo diet in case you didn't get it. Bread with butter, a block of cheese, milk, fruit, or vegetables. Here it is. And a cup of milk. I didn't write that down. So this actually saved the children after World War II in Norway. Okay, now this sticky rice is very important, and I just got this. And this came straight out of Vietnam. But the thing about that is if you are going to eat something like this Louisiana hot sauce sardines and you have the sticky rice, is really going to help. I usually make for one person 3 tablespoons rice. So you cook that down until all the water evaporates. Then you have coconut milk, a 1/4 cup. You can make your own coconut milk, just like I made that almond milk. 2 tablespoons sugar, and then mangoes, fresh, frozen, or dehydrated. You can make a big batch. It's really not like, say, rice pudding. It's like a side, and it goes really good with fish. So you won't starve. And the lady, I met this nice lady at the gym, and she told me during the Vietnam War, they were hiding underground and they were so thirsty, and they would suck on these dry rice balls so that their mouths would come up with some water. Also, I had a big aloe vera plant, so if you grow those and something happens, you could harvest those for a little water. Okay, I spent a long time. This is the best white bread. 1 1/4 cup water. Sometimes I use milk or whey or, whatever I have. 2 tablespoons butter, 2 tablespoons sugar, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 1 package yeast. So I take 1/2 cup water, I warm that to like a warm bath, and I put yeast and the sugar in that, and then all the rest of these ingredients are dry ingredients, and it comes out good every time, and it makes a regular size loaf. So if you have all this food in your stockpile, you're going to have bread. Which, let me tell you, if something happens, Navajo fry bread. Okay, just remember that the water, 1 cup hot water and 1 cup flour is the same. And then you can also use milk in place of the water. So 1 cup of water, 1 cup of flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Mix that together to create a soft ball, and then I put it in a little bowl with oil, and I make sure the ball has oil. I let it set 20-30 minutes, and I fry it in hot oil. What's good about that is you can just, if you have fry bread and tea, you could survive. Betty Crocker's brown bread with raisins. It took me the longest time to find this recipe, and at times I realized, you know what, some of these great old recipes were Betty Crocker. 1 cup all-purpose flour, 1 cup whole wheat flour, 1 cup cornmeal. So now what I did is I went to some pretty expensive wheat flour and some pretty expensive corn flour to make sure I could survive. 1 cup raisins, 2 cups buttermilk. I usually make a half batch of this, If you don't have buttermilk, for every 1 cup milk, heat it to warm and add 1 to 2 tablespoons vinegar or lemon, 3/4 cups molasses. It's very important to store up molasses as soon as finances permit, 2 teaspoons baking soda, and 1 teaspoon salt. So it's like a soda bread, but it's going to give you a really good, nutritious loaf of bread. And then hopefully you have some milk, and hopefully you have some meat drippings to make some gravy. All right, here's the Irish soda bread. 2 cups unsifted flour, 2 tablespoons sugar, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 3 tablespoons butter or margarine softened, 1/2 cup dark seedless raisins, 1 cup buttermilk, and 1 tablespoon butter. I'll give you. So what I did during the first pandemic is I bought a lot of soda and baking powder and baking soda. All right. Okay, now this is one, so you have bread. Now you want to know how to make butter. All right, 2 liters of milk, any kind, you know, and a teaspoon of salt. So you heat it to boiling. When you're trying to make cottage cheese, don't hit it to boiling because it'll become really gummy. Okay, and then add 2 tablespoons of vinegar and stir until it curdles and separates. At that point, you have cottage cheese. Strain the curds out and reserve the whey for like bread making or drinking. The best thing is once you get growing soy has a lot of protein, so you can make soy milk. Okay, so then you strain the whey and you put it in the blender, and you add 100 grams melted butter, half a cube, and 2 spoons sour cream, or if you have this butter, you can just use that and you blend it, and that's going to give you some nice butter. I mean, you know, if there's some, if something happens, you know, you want to have butter so you can go to the Oslo diet. Wheat bread with butter, cheese, and milk. And then here's the salmon ball. I started making salmon balls. Salmon debone, onion, egg, 2 slices bread, breadcrumbs, salt, pepper, garlic, and 2 tablespoons mayo. But if you don't have that, you can use cream cheese or mayonnaise. All right, now the yogurt. This is what I'll be doing to this stuff. This is good, you guys. Okay. So 1 small yogurt, take it out of the refrigerator and let it cool to room, warm up to room temperature. 3 cups milk or 4, depends how much you have. Start heating until it starts to bubble. And then, okay, get a big pan of water and heat it into boiling. I use this one. I have it out because I'm going to use it tonight. I just fill this with water, I heat it to boiling, and then at the same time, I'm heating my milk until not boiling, about 180 degrees, and I hold it there for about 30 minutes. When the water boils in the pan, slip it in the oven to create a warm environment. And then continue cooking the milk for around 30 minutes and cool to warm. Like I use a thermometer, I heat it to 180 or almost boiling, and I cool it to 100, but it can be hotter, but you have to be careful so you don't kill your culture. So then you take your cooled milk and you I was surprised. I used one of those yogurt sticks and it was frozen. It worked fine. Then you add the milk, the warm milk and the yogurt. You stir that up. You put it in your jar and you slip that in the back of the oven covered, and the pan is covered, not with a lid, with like foil, and then you cover it with a warm towel and you leave it there. Okay, so now you get your yogurt usually by the next day. That's why I like to make mine at night. And you can add frozen fruit, or for every cup, one of these packages of chocolate milk. So that's how I made the chocolate yogurt, and I froze that. And so, you know, what if we don't have any ice cream? Even frozen yogurt is ridiculously expensive. So now all of this stuff is going to cut your grocery bill. Plus you're going to have more nutritious food when it's homemade. And it's way cheaper. All right. Feature Man's coleslaw. So this is one of the best recipes I have. Cabbage, carrots, and tomatoes. Then mayonnaise, relish, and ketchup. And that's going to give you a really good. And then I put my potato salad on there for you guys. I mean, really, what do we think we used to do in the olden days? Okay, this is for refrigerator sauerkraut. A quarter cabbage, a liter of water, 1 cup vinegar, 1/2 cup salt, 1 lemon squeeze, spices of your choice like pickling spice, and a large bowl with a large jar with a lid. Thoroughly wash the cabbage, chop cabbage into chunks. Heat the water, vinegar, salt, sugar, spices, lemon until it boils, and pour into the, so you're not going to be wasting your, I don't cut mine into chunks. I cut it into slices, you know. And then you can cook some hot dogs in it. You can cook your roast in sauerkraut too. That's really good. I mean, use whatever you have in the house. It can be just salt, pepper. You really need to make sure you have vinegar or lemon. I heard some places there's no, here's my homemade pickle recipe. It's kind of the same. This is for refrigerator pickles. So also you can make zucchini pickles. Homemade pickles are good. So for the brine, 2 cups vinegar, 2 cups water, 1 tablespoon pickling size, and a 1/2 cup sugar. Just heat that. And then I usually use cucumbers, onions, you could use carrots, whatever you have. But okay, now this is one of my best recipes. Banana cupcakes. I used to eat the most pitiful banana cupcakes that I used to buy. They tasted like crap. 1 cup sugar, 1/2 cup shortening cream together, 1 egg, 1 cup pureed bananas. I keep them in the freezer. 2 tablespoons milk, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 1/2 cups flour, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And just mix all the ingredients. Bake the cupcakes. You can make a loaf cake or a regular cake, and then just sprinkle powdered sugar on the top. Get this recipe. It took me years to find this recipe. Okay, here's my coffee cake. I had this recipe for a long time. 2 tablespoons butter, 4 cups pancake mix. They give us pancake mix at the pantry. At the pantry I go to, if you have plenty of something, you just don't take that. 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1/2 cup sugar, 1 1/2 cups milk, 2 eggs, 1/4 cup canola oil, 1/2 teaspoon soda, and then you mix that up like a cake, and then you put the streusel topping, 1/2 cup pancake mix. You can put this streusel topping on apple pies, on you know, peach pie filling, 1/2 cup pancake mix, 1/4 cup brown sugar, 1.5 cups unsalted butter, and 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon. Okay, let me give you this. I've been making these recently, and I thought I'm going to get these all out there, and then I'm going to move on to something else. You can add fruit to this, like blueberries. All right. Okay, here's the mug cake and lemonade. A lot of people don't have ovens, they just have microwaves. Just to mention, if you want to cook an egg in your microwave, just put a little margarine in a bowl, put your egg on the margarine, puncture the yolk, or make scrambled, and 1 minute at a time. Here's my M&M cookie. This is an oldie. You can use chocolate chips if you don't have M&Ms. What I do is I buy chocolate bars when I get them on sale, and you can use chocolate bars, just break them up. M&Ms are good though. M&Ms are not cheap like they used to be. So that's the recipes I wanted to give you for now. Okay, now I want to talk about the life extension. That's what I'm really into. So I have 10 healthy foods: nuts, beans, legumes, dairy, vegan, oatmeal, eggs, protein, oil, whole grains, whey protein, and fruit. Also, if you want to eat fish, salmon, haddock, and chicken, ground turkey, avocados. I do use protein powder. I also have protein drinks that I could drink. Let me see if I can show you. If I have them handy, I have this kind. But the best one is Go Lean, but these are way cheaper. I get the Go Lean at Choose Gym. Okay, so now one of the dangers is complete amino acids. When you go on some, you can take it in tablets, but the real thing is beef, poultry, fish, egg, soy, quinoa, buckwheat, seafood, milk, cheese, and yogurt. And then they're saying people have genetic markers that can really, really kill you. So I do know a few of them in my family are high blood pressure, stroke, and diabetes. So I have to watch out for that. Okay, I want to talk to you about something I'm doing, and it's a Bible study. So for months, I was reading Psalm 91. So you might be thinking, why? Well, it's a good idea. Okay, now think about Psalm 72:11 or 72. And so this is going to give you a description of the real Christ, so you're not as apt to be faked out at the end. So I'm going to be studying that for some months. Still the Psalm 91 too, because what you're trying to figure out is the habitation of the Lord. So if you know what that comprises that, then you're not going to be faked out either. Okay, now then go to Revelations. Okay, there's a thing in there in the Bible, and they used to drill this into us as kids, like Mormons. Some of you will be required to stand before the world and profess the faith. Okay, when this happens, it's not going to be, okay, ask Jesus into your heart. No, you're going to be under extreme stress, like the threat of death. I had a story from the Adventist church. This was another bad thing that happened in Africa. So they got all the adults on a stage, and they took the Bible and they threw it on the floor and terrorized the people. And out of the audience came a very young girl and picked up the Bible. and stood up for the Bible, a child. So now, so we're watching people, are they proclaiming the faith? Here are the people, this is a good one. We're watching the Pope, we're watching the presidents, we're watching the kings, we're watching rich men, commanders, and mighty men. Okay, and I am studying Revelations 13, 1 through 10. This is kind of like it's like describing the false Christ. Okay, there's a good channel if you want to listen to it. It's the beast from the sea. So evidently the beast, it could be a spirit, we don't know. What I like to do is I like to say, okay, it says a beast. It doesn't say anything. It says a beast will rise up out of the sea somehow. And so the Antichrist and South Orlando Baptist Church. So I'm a Baptist. So another thing is, like, when I listen to these things, I don't necessarily agree with what they're saying. I just listen to it. So that is what I want. And also complete vitamins and minerals. So I am looking into that. So fish, nuts, plants, whole grains. So we got plants and whole grains, homemade peanut butter and yogurt, storable milk. So I just wanted to say that. So mainly the focus is on creating more like a habitat home, more like flowers, plants, pets, such like that. Okay, you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. And tomorrow is a new day, and God bless you all.